Baptist Church. My name is Kate, and I'm a senior at Carnes High School.
What's up, Beaver Ridge? I'm Alex, and I'm a freshman at Carnes High School. While we were at Res 2026, we learned about the story of Moses.
Oh yeah, I remember Paul talking about that. Did he also say that Moses parted the Red Sea to rescue the Jews from the Egyptian army?
Yes, and then they wandered into the desert for 40 years to hopefully enter the Promised Land.
40 years? That's a long time. The story of Moses taught us so much and brought a lot to Res 2026. And so did Paul.
Definitely. That story stuck to me. At Res, we discussed so many different things. Some of those are, God is always present with us. You're never alone, even when you feel like it, and he's always there, even in your worst moments. The speaker said, "Show me your face," referring to how we can ask God to be present with us. And God comes where he is wanted. Sometimes we are not patient and don't want to wait on God. So we give our attention to other things, like other people's approval, social media, and in our image. And we act as if it's more important than God, pushing him away. So it's important to us to make sure we are being patient and we are asking God to present us. Another thing we talked about was God friends and good friends. A God friend is somebody you can go and worship God with and rely on to just be there for you. And then a good friend is also someone that you will be there for you, but you don't always have to do stuff that relates to God. You can just have fun with them. You need both of them for different reasons and different ways. Another thing we talked about was everyone's idea of worship is different. So I know some people that worship out loud, they cry, or they scream. I don't know. And then I also know people that just worship quietly and not show it out loud. Everyone also brings something different to the table, God-wise, because you can talk to people about different stuff, and everyone knows different stuff about God, but everyone still worships God and loves him the same kind of. That's some of what we talked about at Res. Kate, did you get anything cool from Res?
I remember Paul told us to make the most and be set free. And I feel like a lot of us did that this weekend. Well, a few weekends ago. Throughout my journey of faith, there has been moments in my life where listening to God has made a major impact on my calling towards God. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. So I've been Christian my whole life, and I went to a church I grew up in. It's called Church Street. It's downtown. And when I was about 9 years old, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to take my next steps in faith. And so I got baptized. And then whenever you get into 6th grade is whenever you can start a youth group. And so I did. I joined, it's called Nightlife. And they have a retreat called SLA. Funny name. SLA. Spiritual Life Advancement. Now, this is hard. Okay, so I remember the last night that we were there, our youth director, Ginny, she told us, hey, go out in this big old field in the darkness without a flashlight and go alone. I'm a 6th grader. Okay, so I started walking, okay? And I was with my friends, you know? And I didn't want to go alone. I was scared, and I didn't have a flashlight. But then, most of them were about 2 years older than me, and no, Kate, you got it. Go on, shoot. And so I started walking out alone, and I was so scared. I could hear all the creepy crawlies around me, all the animals chirping. Oh, man. But then, the thought of a bear eating me came to my head, and I was like, oh, no. But then I was like, I'm all alone. I can't think about that. And so I sat down. And I breathed and breathed and breathed. And then I started to feel warm in the chilly air. How odd. That was the first time I heard God and felt him, felt his warmth. And it was good, and I wanted to stay there forever. And then the thought of the bear eating me came back. Oh, man. And so I had to get out of there. And I started hearing rustling in the grass, and all my friends were going up to the fire pit to meet up and sing, and so I joined along with them. I wanted to hold on to that feeling forever and ever. And then they told me in January, they were like, Kate, yo, resurrection. And I was like, okay, big slumber party again, just like, okay, I'll go. And so I did. drifting away from the Lord. That warm fire that was set in me from sloth started going away. Man. And that was the year I'm supposed to start confirmation and get confirmed. And I had to do it online. Oh, man. I tried to pay attention. I seriously did, but I couldn't lock in, you know? But that's okay. And as COVID went on and on and on, I became a freshman. Oh, boy. And my grandma was like, yo, you should go to, there's a church right down there called Beaver. Yeah. And there's a youth group there, and you should join it. And my brother was like, oh, yeah. I think my good friend Ben goes there. I get to know him later on in the story. Anywho. So I go there because my brother was going there, so I was like, okay, I'll go. And so I sat down, and the lesson went on, and it was time to leave, and so I get up. Two girls approach me, Eliana and Alex. That Alex. And they made me feel like I belonged. Like I was one of their friends. But I didn't know them yet. They welcomed me in, and we became a trio. And so I decided to go to Resurrection freshman year too. And I did, and it was a lot of fun. I made a lot of memories. I was popping. And then, of course, I got to go sophomore year too. But then a big winter storm happened. Oh boy, we got locked in at the church. But the good thing about it is that we heard the song Beautiful Day in the House of the Lord by Forever Free. Oh man. If you guys don't know that song, you should definitely listen to it. It's really, really good. And then junior year. This is where it hits crazy for Kate. Okay, so I had a lot of stuff weighing on me. A lot of stuff. I felt so heavy. But I just come in with a big old smile. Nobody even knows, you know. Just bebopping around. Man. Oh, man. And then the speaker starts going on. Oh, no. And I'm not a public crier. I've never been. I was like, no, I'm holding strong. Oh, no. She keeps on talking. Oh, girl. The song goes on. Eliza leans on into me. Oh, no. Oh, man. Tears. Oh, everywhere. And I'm an ugly crier. Whew. I'm an ugly crier. And I was crying and crying and crying. And all the weight came off of me because the Lord told me to get it out. Let it go. Let it go. And so I did. I was like, you know what? In school, what helps me focus is taking notes. So I started taking notes that year because I was like, I got to lock in the Lord. Oh, it felt good. And so I did. I thought you had to know the Bible to know God and feel God. But the truth is, you don't have to know Scripture to feel and know God. For a full year, I was given signs. And I ignored them. Just like Moses did. Ooh. And even before that, I was given signs from God. Oh no. Then Resurrection 2026 happened. Okay. Just like, you know, all my friends, like we were talking about, were huddled up, all together. Oh boy. And I started thinking, I was like, no, the tears are coming, no. And then, got to praying. Got to listening. Like I said again, Paul said, make the most of this weekend. And I sure did, because I listened. And whenever you listen, God is clear. Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is hearing Him. As the worship songs were going on, oh man, here it comes. I started thinking. Mine started drifting as we were all huddled up. And I thought of this moment. The first sermon that I wrote into my notebook after Res 2025 was, woe to those who are rich. Whoa. Okay? And this was at Church Street. Pastor Catherine said that. She gave us an example. She said she was starving, hungry. Oh man, I have nothing to eat. Well, within 20 minutes, she had a full meal. Wow, we are blessed. We think of those who are rich like Taylor Swift, Dolly Parton, or even the people who drive golf carts in the neighborhood. Whew. We think of those people. We are blessed. We truly are. And then I got another memory. I was in New York City, and I was walking, and I wouldn't bat an eye. I was walking with my family. I was walking with a purpose. Then I started feeling warmth. I looked to my side. It was a homeless man smiling at me, finding comfort. I smiled back. Another memory popped up in my head. Oh, it was Washington, D.C., and there was tents. Those are people's homes. Those are people's homes. I skated for 10 years. Oh, man, okay? Bear with me. My grandma took me to practice a lot of the time. A lot. And one day, she was driving me like normal, and it was a green light, and she stopped. A green light? And she goes, "Kate, get in my glove box and hand me a 20. Okay, Grandma. I give her a 20. She gives it to a homeless man that's sitting right by the light. My grandma has always had a heart for the homeless. Still does and always will. She inspires me. I had another memory. I was really young. I was at the beach and my dad and my brother, they went out fishing early, and so I was all alone in my room. And I woke up and I was scared. I was terrified. I run to my mom's room. I jump on her bed. Oh man, I must have terrified her half to death. And I was like, "Mom," I must have had a nightmare or something. I was like, "Mom, I'm scared of homeless people. Mom." And she was like, "Yeah, very random." And she goes, "Kate, do not be afraid. Angels are scary. The first thing they say is, do not be afraid." Thank you. That got me thinking. Why am I getting all these signs from all my year, all the memories, and Res 2026 with all my friends? I started trying to process. Then I realized my calling is to help them, because who knows, they could be angels in disguise. We don't know their story. Who are we to judge? Homeless can feel alone. At my lowest, I felt alone. I felt invisible. I thought I wasn't heard. I thought I couldn't talk. I was sad in my room all alone. When I could walk downstairs and talk to my parents. I could go next door and talk to my brother. I could use my phone and text my friends. I had people. I wasn't alone. I wasn't invisible. I wasn't invisible. Paul told us to let it burn. Let it burn. And I'm letting it burn, and I'm listening to my calling just like Moses did. But it is also good to trust your intuition. It always knows what's right. I went to volunteer at a warming center. I was a little nervous because I felt like it was the right thing to do. So I did. All they wanted was conversation, connection. Nothing scary about that. They're like you and me. Aren't we supposed to love our neighbors? Yes. Go beyond prayer. Take a mindful moment and listen. We all have a story. And yours doesn't have to be volunteering for homeless. It could be volunteering at a hospital, going in the community, volunteering at an animal shelter, and so much more. You have something to do. Just listen.
That's really cool, Kate. Rest 2026 was pretty powerful, and I really liked how you talked about listening to him rather than just praying.
Thanks. I like that you said we can have both God friends and good friends.
Thanks, Kate. I think we both had some really good ideas. I can't wait for Rest 2027.
Me too, but now we have a question for you guys. What is your calling?
The rest is up to you.
This is Kate.
And Alex.
Signing
Off.
Mic drop.
Boom.